1973, the October War. Soviet missiles mounted on small mobile vehicles downed over 100 Israeli aircraft in weeks, permanently changing the rules of air combat. The SA-6, gainful, the first fully mobile air defense system, moves with the army, needs no fixed base, no lengthy setup time. Why did technically superior Israeli aircraft fail against a relatively simple ground system? The cause wasn't missile power. It was surprise. Pilots were trained against known fixed air defense sites. Mobility rewrote the entire threat map. Israeli Air Force losses: over 100 aircraft in the first 18 days of the October 1973 war, the highest in Israeli Air Force history. From that moment, every military on Earth understood. A fixed air defense system is dead the instant it's spotted. Only mobility remains a credible threat. Surprise, not the missile itself, is the true weapon. And from that war, an entire generation of systems was born that never stays in one place. An anti-aircraft missile accelerates from 0 to 1,200 meters per second in under 4 seconds, faster than a sniper rifle bullet. Pantsir S-1, a Russian system combining missiles and rapid-fire guns in one platform, intercepting targets from near-zero range out to 20 kilometers. How can a single system intercept a high-altitude aircraft and a low-flying small drone at the exact same moment? The engineering solution: 2 A-38M 30mm cannons firing 5,000 rounds per minute for close targets. Radar-guided missiles for farther, higher threats. Pantsir S-1 range and altitude: missiles reaching 20 kilometers range and 15 kilometers altitude. Cannons covering up to 4 kilometers against drones and small artillery shells. This gun-missile hybrid became the global standard for short-range air defense. Every new system is now measured by how well it combines both speeds. No single weapon is enough against every threat. The real solution is a hybrid combination handling the sky in multiple layers at once. In Ukraine, a $15 million air defense system was used to shoot down a $20,000 kamikaze drone. The economic equation is completely inverted. Tor M1 and Pantsir systems lost dozens of units in Ukraine, not from weakness, but because drone warfare exposed a gap nobody anticipated. Why do advanced systems designed in the Soviet missile era struggle against cheap drone swarms? The answer: old designs targeted a limited number of high-value threats. Today's warfare involves hundreds of cheap drones at once, draining ammunition before the real threat arrives. Approximate loss figures: dozens of Russian Tor and Pantsir units reported destroyed or disabled in Ukraine, per open-source analysis since 2022. Major militaries concluded the future isn't a more expensive missile. It's cheap layered defense handling massive numbers of small simultaneous targets. Modern warfare didn't defeat mobile systems. It forced them to learn to fight an enemy that didn't exist when they were designed: a swarm with no single commander. 3 names repeat across every military analysis of mobile air defense, and each represents a completely different combat philosophy. Russia's Pantsir S-1, the most widely exported system globally, operated by over 10 nations from Algeria to Syria and the UAE. What's the real technical difference between Russia's Pantsir, Tor M1, and the Western NASAMS? Tor M1 intercepts small, fast targets like guided missiles and smart munitions with high precision at closer ranges than Pantsir, but with faster response time. US-Norwegian NASAMS uses modified AMRAAM air-to-air missiles adapted for ground launch, a system Ukraine has used with documented effectiveness against cruise missiles. Algeria operates fleets of Russian Pantsir and Buk M2 systems as part of an integrated air defense network covering its eastern and southern borders. No single system is absolutely superior. There are 3 distinct combat philosophies, and each nation chooses based on the threat it actually faces. South Africa builds a fully domestic mobile air defense system independent of Russia, America, or China, and few know it exists. South Africa's Umkhonto, a fully indigenous air defense missile, already exported to the Finnish and Indian militaries. Which other African nation built mobile air defense capability exceeding regional expectations? Nigeria operates Chinese FM-90 systems to protect its critical oil infrastructure from drone and low-altitude attacks across the Niger Delta. Egypt operates Russian Tor, M1 and Buk M2 systems alongside Italian Skyguard, one of the most diverse air defense networks on the continent. In Asia, South Korea developed the domestic K-30 Biho. In Latin America, Brazil is developing its first ever indigenous LMU system. Mobile air defense is no longer the exclusive domain of major powers. It has become a symbol of industrial sovereignty every continent now seeks for itself. An air defense system analyzes 300 targets per second and prioritizes launch sequence, without waiting for a human decision on each one. AI in next-generation air defense automatically classifies drones, friend, enemy, or unknown, in fractions of a second. How does a single system handle a swarm of 50 cheap drones attacking simultaneously? The new solution: low-cost defensive lasers. Each laser shot costs a few dollars compared to a missile costing tens of thousands per interception. Israel's Iron Beam, a 100-kilowatt defensive laser, cost per interception under $5 compared to missiles costing thousands. The next generation of Pantsir and Tor integrates AESA radar systems and machine learning algorithms that predict target trajectory before it actually changes. The next battle won't be won by the smarter missile. It will be won by the system that decides faster than the enemy can even think. From the trenches of 1973 to the skies of Ukraine 2024, one system never changed: a mobile shield that learns from every battle it fights. The full arc, SA-6 downs 100 aircraft in 1973, to Pantsir and Tor battle drones in Ukraine, to lasers solve the expensive ammunition problem. Why do nations from South Africa to South Korea keep building their own systems instead of simply buying off the shelf? Because whoever owns their own mobile air defense owns real sovereignty, not dependent on a foreign political decision at the moment protection is actually needed. The deeper lesson: every generation of systems was born from the previous generation's failure, against a new threat unforeseen at the design stage. The near future: integrated defense networks combining radars, missiles, lasers, and AI into one system that communicates with itself without real-time human intervention. The shield that never sleeps hasn't stopped evolving for half a century, and the next war will be won by whoever makes their shield think faster than the weapon coming to destroy it. The battlefield is changing. Don't just watch history, understand it. Subscribe to Stratos Warfare.